Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, Mike, it's definitely been a definitely a hot one out here today. Good evening, Beverly. Hello, BNSF4 Bonnet, Drango, and Silverton Railway. I'm not too sure anybody what's going on with the cameras. We're just on the dashboard currently. Yeah, give it just another minute here, and we're gonna get started. I want to thank everyone that's joined so far. Mr. Allen, if we touch 100 degrees this Sunday, I don't know. It's a little warm, but it is what it is. In Arizona, and you're in Vegas, so you imagine about the same. It's a little warm up there. It's warm out here. The desert, we gotta love it. An executive Mac, probably was on the auto rack maybe the one at Gallup. It might have been. Let's take a look here. Um, Speed this up a little bit. You could probably tell if it was or not. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get started here. It's 4:18. It's 4:18 at my time, which is 5:18 Mountain Time and 6:18 Central. So we'll go ahead and get started. Let's see. First hour is going to go ahead and go up with the line of updates. So for updates, oh, just going to do that. Yeah, you're right. There's a CSX and a executive Mac there. Business War Bonnet. That's like 17:15 at Gallup time. So yeah, CSX and a executive Mac. Good catch. Um, so we'll go ahead and get started. So went ahead and um, had a phone call this afternoon, probably about 2 hours ago with Needles. Just as mentioned, we're just waiting for them to get the bucket truck. They're the boom truck they call it. I guess it's called. They only have a handful of them, probably two or three at the most. So that's what's slowing it down. They've been getting a lot of calls, not just from us here at SouthWest RailCams, but also citizens also know that they're going to be getting the RailCam soon. That's of Needles, and they've been bugging them too about it. So I talked to the tourism department today. That's who I'm talking to, and they're doing everything they can to get it pushed faster. Uh, Said the guy that I talked to last week said he wanted to get it. He wanted to have everything up and running by last week, but they couldn't get the truck there. They get up there, so when I talked to tourism this afternoon, they're going to see if they can do something about it this week. I guess one of the problems is the boom truck barely fits behind there. It's got to go behind between the tracks and the platform. So they got to do a certain way to get the truck back there, and I guess it's only one way of doing it as well. So, but it was stated that when I was talking to tourism, it was stated that they were able to verify. They could see the wirings there at the wall hanging, ready to go for the cameras. It's just a matter of the boom truck in there to get the guy up there to just so they could mount the cameras to the building, plug them in, and then we should be good. So hopefully get some more information. They have a city council meeting, so hopefully we could get a little bit more information off that. If see we have a date yet or not. Just wait for a boom truck and then it'll be ready to go. We already did a lot of testing that we needed to do. We've tested the PCs. Have had no problems with that. No problems with the internet. They have a real good internet connection there, so that definitely won't be an issue. We won't have to spend a week testing anything out there. We'll just make sure that the cameras are good. Make sure once they're connected, they're good for like a day or so, and then we go private launch, and then we'll go public after that. So, but for testing purposes, testing's done. We did everything we needed to do to make sure that works. So we don't have to delay it any longer that the cities has already delayed it. So bear with us a little bit longer here. Hopefully we get some more information here either tonight or tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get some more information and hopefully get that truck there so we get everything mounted. Also, next update is we do have a pending site waiting, but it won't be until beginning of next year. So it looks like we will have a site coming up in Calante, Nevada. Once the depot has been finished restored and the city officials move back in, we're currently the whole building's going under a complete remodel. So they will be next on our. They're going to be next on our list beginning of next year. So look forward to that. Currently, the only site that we have that's going to be new, which is we're working on for this summer, is Roseville, California, which is along the UP. I think it's the UP line there, just north of the Roseville yard there in California. So that's all the other sites that we have currently. We know that we're working on as of right now. We do have a couple other pending site locations that are like Albuquerque. That one's still pending. Waiting for this one guy. We're still waiting for this one guy to get back to us on the requirements. So we'll post about that once we hear more as well. For the current cameras, current sites, most of all cameras have been upgraded to the new firmware, so you should see more stability on the cameras as you're viewing them. There's been questions about the patrol mode or auto mode or auto, I guess it's called. As mentioned before, the only sites that actually have that on most of the time is Tacna, which is Jack's Whistle Stop Cafe, Joseph City, which is your Jackrabbit, and Wilcox. In Wilcox, even though they have a static camera facing the east crossing, it's just so dark at night. To the west view, we just decided it was just asked to just keep it on patrol mode or auto mode. So that's why you always see Wilcox that way. But all the other camera sites like that are dual camera, they have the auto mode, but they're not enabled automatically. So that was that. And then within the next couple weeks, we are going to be upgrading our software for the radio feeds. Um, as you listen to our cameras, you do know we have the integrated radio feed. That integrated radio feed is also on Broadcastify, with the exception of the Kingman Depot feed. That one is not on Broadcastify. That one is just strictly on the Kingman cameras. Um, so with that said, all the sites that do host a radio feed, which is actually all of them, they will be going through an update to their software probably this coming weekend, if not next weekend. But to make sure we're ready for it before we initialize it, before we process it. And that's just to improve um, all the sites using what's called a SDR, software defined radio. And with that SDR, it uses software to, you know, get the radio from the air and bring it in and translate it into the, into a virtual input, as we called. Um, and the software's been updated to help with pretty much performance and also any kind of memory leaks, they call it. So we'll see how that goes. Currently, the SDR software does run um, roughly about 15-20% of the CPU usage. So that should help out with the radio feed and probably help out with the ones. Some of the sites have one of the cameras and the SDR, which is the radio feed, on the same computer. Especially if you're at the Jackrabbit Trading Post or TACNA. They only have one computer that runs the camera and the radio feed. So this should help for performance. Other than that, we will be going through and checking all the cameras for any kind of errors getting reported in the logs or anything like that. Some reboots. As you may know, the cameras do reboot every day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Mountain Standard Time, with the exception of Gallup, which is at 7 in the morning Mountain Daylight Time. I think it's called MDT. So you just keep that in mind as you see the cameras reboot. That's an automatic process. But with that reboot, that helps clean out any kind of memory hiccups that it may have had, or it just helps resync the cameras together, um, which is definitely something that we want to make sure the cameras are in sync as much as possible. So other than that, as mentioned, we're pulling logs. We're just going to do a health check on all the cameras and make sure that they're not having any errors, any issues. As some may know, we've gone a year. We started this on April 15, 2022 with Winslow. And the East camera is the original camera that's been there since we started. And, I just want to make sure that its health is good. It's gone through these cameras have gone through the monsoons like no other. We had only 2 cameras last monsoon fail on us. One was at Kingman and one was at Wilcox. So these cameras have taken a beating. So we just want to keep an eye on them, make sure that the logs don't show any errors, and continue to maintain them. It's like our goal is to keep them up and running. So other than that, it's now half hour in. So now I'll go ahead and have open forum. Anyone that's got questions or any kind of questions or comments, feel free to go to chat. From now till For the next 15 minutes, I'll go ahead and answer any kind of questions or anything like that, and we'll go from there. What's this button? What do you mean, Mr. Allen? What button are you talking about? What button are you talking about, Mr. Allen? Oh, that button. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Appreciate it. Yes, we have been accepted. And a reminder, we haven't been accepted. SouthWest RailCams has been accepted through the YouTube Partner Program, which means we got the little help, the little support the channel icon is there within the bottom of the chat windows, where you could support the channel. Any kind of funding that goes through that will be um, put into the um, the cameras, the channel itself, keeping everything up and running, keeping everything maintained. So definitely appreciate that. Which that being said, that's you may have noticed that since we're part of the program, they have they have added the ads to our cameras as well, just like all the other um, live cameras that you see out there. As you said, we want to keep it, we want to keep the cameras free, um, and so, but we also want to keep them up and running. So to help keep them up and running, we definitely appreciate, the nice donations that we get, either through here or through GoFundMe. Also, any kind of if we get any kind of ad revenue, I'm not too sure how that's going to work yet, but we're going to use that to continue keeping our channel going, keeping our cameras up and running. So definitely appreciate that. And we're not gonna be like, um, we I think YouTube has some kind of I know YouTube has some type of control of the ads. I know we have some type of control, and we don't feel like we don't want to bash anyone with ads or anything like that. But it just helps keep the cameras free, keeps them maintained. But yeah, just to help keep our channel going, um, help with the website and stuff like that. For that's related to our channel, even for updates or upgrades if we need upgrades. We'll figure, as we go, we'll see how it goes, and we're also looking at memberships, not for first any kind of cameras at this time, but maybe might do something like if you want, if because been asked for like how can I do a YouTube subscription for like $5 a month or something. Well, so we're looking into that next, and I believe from my understanding, I believe anything that is going to be anyone that subscribes with the monthly. I believe Christy's going to have some kind of plan where um, probably send out anyone that subscribes a little goodie, some kind of goodies from us, from the channel, So we'll have more to come once we figure out those fine details and how that part works. I know we don't have that option yet, but it's probably in there. They just haven't turned it on yet for us. It takes a little time, but we'll keep everyone posted there. Um, so definitely, thanks again, Mr. All-In, for that. And I mentioned it's on every channel. Every chat has that little icon there to help support our channel. So, Mr. All-In, you're gonna be my Kingman, my Kingman go-to guy, right? You know, we'll go there and get up on that roof and deal with the weather out there since you're close by. Just kidding. But um, that's fun. Hopefully this monsoon is not as bad as it was last month, but I believe we'll be ready for it this month. We've been doing some prepping and with the help with the site host, we're actually working on making sure the cameras have a um, little more secure way. Oh, hold on, brother, with lighting above your head, right? Anyways, Mike, on your question on the platform, I got to reach out to our host there in Benson and see where he is at on that. He did reach out to Amtrak in regards to it to see where they are at with it. What happened was when the UP decided to throw the curve team there, they threw a curve ball into the platform because they were going to set up all their equipment there. Um, so now Amtrak's got to reschedule. They had to do they had to set up a new schedule. They also now have to get a UP and have a UP inspector there at all times during the construction. Amtrak is the one hiring a contractor to do the construction. It's not going to be UP. It's not going to be um, the city. So now we're kind of on hold. He's hoping to hear something soon, and then once he does, he'll let me know. I'll keep you posted. You're welcome. I'm glad we could do this for you. I mean, we want to keep these cameras going, keep them free on the net for everyone to view and enjoy. So, what else? Since we're talking about Amtrak, Mike, you reminded me. Okay, yes, I'm gonna reach out. We haven't heard from Amtrak yet in regards to Winslow. Yes, as you can see in the top right hand corner, that tree is has woke up. And it is starting to bloom quickly. So I'm probably gonna reach out to our host in Winslow, which is the La Posada. Either I either may contact Alan, who's the owner, or I may contact the general manager there and see if they'd be okay if we just move it on the pole and not worry about Amtrak. I'm not too sure what's going on, why the email that came from Amtrak says they're going to take about 3 months before they get back to us. Not too sure why, but I know the first initial email, it took Christy about a whole month and a half to get something back. So maybe it will take all 3 months. But who knows? We'll see. Because we could get a pole mount, we could mount it to the pole and be all good. But um, the poles are actually lighting their. They're all owned by Amtrak. Amtrak pays the bill for them, so we wanted to get their approval first, but have not heard of anything yet. I don't even know if it's been maybe 3 months. Maybe it hasn't been 3 months yet, but time slips by you real fast. I'm telling you. So hopefully I answered your question a little bit, Mike. I know it's not a definite answer yet, but hopefully we'll get something soon. Any other questions? Or Mr. Allen, you gonna spark something else that you gotta remind me on something? I'm telling you, memories is not all there today. You're welcome, Mike. Santa Fe, that's a good one, Kimberly. I'm glad you brought that up. I actually logged in to see if the camera was even online yet today. The camera is not online yet. However, I do see that it's not in its testing spot anymore. A couple days ago, it was in their communication. The IT guy had it in his communication room testing. Um, and well, I tried going into it today. When I tried going into this, do that today before this call, this live episode here, it wasn't online anymore. So I'm maybe guessing he's going to get ready to mount it. Because it's not there anymore. It's not online anymore. So maybe that's a good sign. He told me once. He told us once that once he gets online, it'll pop right online. Um, and we'll just have to start the stream once it gets there. Don't really want to show the communication, and that probably be kind of, I guess it'd be kind of boring because you're like looking at little lights flashing all day long. But anyways, I'm gonna I don't want to, he said he'll come online once he gets it mounted. He was mounted last week, but then they had some real bad wind and some rain, so that's why he never got a chance to mount it. But as I said, it's not online today when I checked, so that might be a good sign that it might be get hopefully up maybe by this weekend. Um, Crossing our fingers. Dad, maybe Needles as well. Hopefully they come up with something. Hopefully they get a truck there to get those cameras online, or else we'll have to figure out something else. But I would imagine it's the city's building, so since it's a city's building, they have to do it. We can't do it since it's theirs. So the time gap between the PTZ and the West Cameron Kingman. Yeah, how did I know you're gonna bring up an issue with Kingman, Mr. Rowling? Just kidding. um, that might be a couple of reasons. Usually what happens with that, one thing that causes the gap, are you talking about in the picture-in-picture or the two different feeds? Because that can depend. If it's a picture-in-picture, that's usually due to network congestion between the switch and the two cameras to the PC, and then going to the router. But if it's not network congestion, if it's the actual feed itself, like the PTC feed, yeah, if it's PIP, then that's probably what it is. And usually, what we could do, to resync them, because once they get out of sync like that, eventually they do get back into sync. But depending on what kind of congestion, what caused it, it may be too far back where they can't get themselves back in sync. And the other way to fix that is rebooting both cameras, which is what might have to happen. Um, so if it does require a reboot, we'll go reboot it, and that should take care of it. But that's just usually due to network congestion. The other one way I was gonna mention, if it's the YouTube feed itself, like for example, um, if the YouTube feed shows it's behind compared to the let's say the Kingman West or Kingman PTZ is 10 minutes ahead than Kingman West, and you look at the clock, you see the clocks are even different too. That usually what happens there is the computer lost connection with YouTube for X amount of time, and that could be for any reason. And when it finally did reconnect, it's delayed now. and it will stay delayed until the feed is actually rebooted. Now, lucky enough for us, I can go in there, reboot the software, the streaming software, and it won't change the address or anything like that. URL will stay the same. It's just a matter of it'll go black for a few minutes and come back and give you a little buffering. So yeah, so that hopefully that answers your question. It's most of the time when that happens is the congestion that you're seeing. um, you see that a lot at Kingman, and you see that a lot at we're seeing a lot of that at Benson until they changed out their router. Now it's actually a little bit more caught up. So hopefully that answers your question. And one other thing here, I'll show everyone. Let's see, where is my mouse? So going on this screen here, I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here. That's me. So going here, I'm not too sure if anyone could see here on the website. One other thing I want to note to everyone before we end the call here, and if anyone else has any other questions, on the website you're going to see some where our feeds are at, and in this feeds here, if for some reason if you're not on YouTube or you can't find some kind of video, our website also has the videos here. So for example, if I want to go to Southwest Chief, you'd see where Christy's posted the videos that she does, and these videos right here are also what we post on the channel. So you go either way. If you can't find them on on YouTube, you can find them here and watch them through the website as well. So that's just one other thing I wanted to throw out there so everyone's aware of it. So you can see that online through our website. We also have discussions as well. It has a discussion board. Don't really use it. I mean, it's not used that much, but it's there if anyone wants to utilize it. If you can't find a video on YouTube on the channel itself. So anyway, so that's about it. So any questions before or any other comments before we head off? Still looking into that section. We just got the YouTube program, so we're the highlighting names and all that. We're getting there. We just as I said, we without being part of the YouTube partner program, we didn't have any of these features that we have now. So yeah, we're definitely going to look into that. Yeah, I believe um, I think you talk about the special icons and all that you got that you'd get as a or the different color and all that. I think that happens. That I think that's part of the subscription one, which I believe we should be getting access to it. I haven't seen it yet. It may be there today. It wasn't there yesterday when we got it. So we're definitely going to look into that. So then that will be there. So we have that access. You get out the icon or the color difference or however it is. I'm so not too 100% familiar on how the other ones work. But yeah, that's definitely a good question, and hopefully um, we get that going soon. So we're still looking at. So we're still trying to. The one thing is there's not much. There's documentation, and you have to go search for it. So yeah, it's definitely growing in numbers. I'm searching. I think we're at 90. I think we just hit 9,800. So almost 10,000. Yes, definitely lots of new toys, Mr. Allen. It's been something, and a lot still need to learn. So hey, sure, you be a real planner. I know you're out here in Arizona as well. So welcome. So other than that, any other questions or comments before we call it a day? If you have a question or comment after this, you definitely just reach out at our website or support at SouthWestRailCams.com. Thanks everyone for joining. Definitely appreciate every one of you here. So, um, most likely not because it's really close to Tucson. Um, don't really. I mean, we don't want to have. I mean, we don't want to be too close to. Because it'd be the same thing. Um, and technically, there's really not much out in that area that probably would host the camera, but I know we do. We are looking at a site on the Arizona-California border, and also we're also looking at a site in Lordsburg, um, near the I think it's the Arizona Eastern. So we'll keep everyone posted as that comes up. Thanks everyone for your support. Thanks everyone for um, being a member, a subscriber of our channel. We appreciate it. And I wish everyone to have a real good day and a safe weekend when we get there. Okay, enjoy. Have a good one. Bye.